Good evening. Sing from the Christian hymnals 632. I thank the Lord, my Maker. Zasonat twain dart. Nosum. Fifanat 62. Fifanat 62. Amen. Father,
Make me willing Good evening. Thank you for coming out to celebrate with our two 8th grade graduates. I'm sure they're excited that they've come to this point. Thank you, parents, for coming out, friends, family. Our mission here at New Hope Christian School is to offer a Christian education where our students are taught about Jesus and his teachings to impact each student's life for eternity and to help them live successfully in this world. We don't just want them to be connected to school or our school all their life. We want them to be able to go out and learn beyond what we have to offer here. They've been through 8 years of work, 8 years of hard work, and 8 years of brain-stretching work. The learning really has only begun. In their early years, they learned their letters. They learned that the M says M. And then they put the different letters together, and then if CAT all of a sudden made a cat that meowed even though it didn't say. The letters themselves weren't MOW, which is male. They continued on like that, learning how to diagram. They had to memorize all the bones of their body. This year they had a Canadian map, and for hours they would sit there memorizing nothing short of 100 different cities and where they're placed on the map. And quite often at the end of the year, I would send them out and say, "Go preach to the birds." They were preparing for what we called a 10-minute sermon or a 5-minute devotional. And in practicing that, I said, "Go preach to the birds." So they went outside with their list or their paper or the little note card that they had and preached to the birds. I would often say, "Did you give enough time for the birds to page to the reference?" Because they had to time it. It was supposed to be just so long. And today, they're here. They've prepared their somewhat close to 5-minute graduation speech. And I think they're waiting that they can share their few words with us. The first student who's going to come up is Ernesto. I refer to the boys I got last year for the first time. I refer to them as young men because I think they're both responsible. Ernesto, when I think of him, I think of caring. An incident that comes back to my mind is the other day, a student wasn't sure how to play this game, and he knew how, and he just started explaining it. A question was asked, "Well, what about this part of the game?" And he just explained it. There's other times where I've noticed he's very caring, and I want to bless you with that. All yours.
After 7,083 hours of working hard and playing games, I stand here. Thank you all for coming. I've attended New Hope Christian School for 7 years and my first year of school at home. There have been many good times at school, like working on projects, doing arts, and definitely playing soccer, which was my favorite game at school these last few years. But there have also been times when I just didn't feel like doing anything. I've had 4 teachers, Miss Agatha, Miss Veronica, Mr. Clarence, Mr. Hans, and Miss Jocelyn, who was my teacher the first year when we did school at home. This year, there were 10 boys and 5 girls in the upper room, and 5 boys and 3 girls in the lower room, which makes 23 students altogether. I am thankful for the wisdom that God has given me, which helped me with my schoolwork and other things like games during my school years. I also want to thank my parents for the support and encouragement that they gave me. Even when things got a little hard, they kept encouraging me. I'm very grateful for all the teachers that have helped me with my work, taught me new things, and made them understandable, even if it took a while until I knew some of the things. They still had patience with me. And also classmates. I've had many different classmates, older and younger ones. I also want to thank them for helping with making the school days and games that we played fun. I am very grateful for the school boards, which have provided teachers to teach me, and for providing a school where I could be taught. I've had many fun and surprising things happen, like specials and field trips. Now, some of these during this last year were when people brought us a snack and a special where we went to sing for elderly people. Last week, our class biked to Thamesville and spent a day there. A few other things I really enjoyed were when we made maple syrup and when we went on walks and runs. For our field trip this year, we went to African Lion Safari, where we saw many different kinds of birds. One thing I really liked was watching the one bird show where there were some birds that could say some words like hello, what you doing, bye, and more. The one bird could even sing happy birthday part ways. Another field trip I remember is when I was in Mr. Clarence's class and we went to Peely Island on the ferry and drove our bikes around the island. 2 of my favorite subjects, or subjects that I found challenging, have been math and science. I like to try to figure out the areas of different shapes in math and learning how to solve different kinds of problems, which I knew would help me later on in life. I also like to do different experiments in science and learning about the different ways things work. School has helped me and taught me different things which I will use later on in life. One thing that I really enjoyed was my last book of math, where we learned to write checks and bank statements. This will be helpful later on in life when I have to write checks or bank statements. I'm going to know how to do them. I'm not going to be confused. School is a very important place to inspire your goals and to help you keep going to accomplish your goals. I want to encourage all those who are still going to school to not give up. It will be worth it later on when you will want to use it in your daily life. So keep going.
Next is Marcelo. The word that comes to my mind is initiation, or at first I had leading, but then it was more initiation that described him. When there's something to be done, he's willing to do it. If there's something to get started, he's willing to start it. If there's someone to step up to the game, he's one of the first. At Easter time, we have this tradition that we hide popsicle sticks for the students to find. And this year I asked my 6th grade boys to read stories to the students while Miss Joanne and I went to go hide the popsicle sticks. And after I was done, I came back inside and I was puzzled. Why is Marcelo standing at the front of the class with a book? It didn't take me long, and I haven't talked to them about this, but this is what I assume happened. The stories were over. The two stories that were supposed to be read were done. And just to continue doing nothing wouldn't have been right either. So somebody should just simply read another story. That's what I assume happened. He was up there reading just another story without being told, and that is the kind of person Marcelo is. When something needs to get done, he's willing to do it. Your turn.
Did you know that the speed of light is 885,714 times faster than the speed of sound? Good evening. Thank you for coming. I've gone to New Hope Christian School from kindergarten all the way through to grade 8. I've had 4 teachers over the years. Ms. Agatha was my teacher from kindergarten to grade 3. Ms. Veronica was my teacher for grade 4, Mr. Clarence for grades 5 and 6, and Mr. Hans for grades 7 and 8. There were 22 students in school this year, not including me. There were 8 girls and 14 boys. There were 14 students in my class this year besides me, so it was the largest class I've ever been in. I'm thankful that my parents have sent me to this school and that God has blessed me with a Christian education. I'm also thankful that my teachers didn't give up on me, even though I was a bit of a troublemaker in my earlier years. Their discipline has made me a better person. I'm extra thankful for my classmates who made my time at school enjoyable. Don't know what I would have done without them. I'm thankful that the school board has supplied us with everything we needed to learn. Without them, there just wouldn't have been school. I've had many great experiences in my school years, one of which was a field trip to Pelee Island to go biking. We took our bikes onto the ferry and had a fun ride there, even though we had to wait for an entire hour before the ferry actually left. On the island, we biked to a walking trail, which we took to a beach. We spent some time there before heading back. We even had pizza for supper later. But this was only one of the great times I have had at school. One of the subjects that I enjoyed the most was science, since it was so easy. I also liked math, since it was dependable and always made sense after some explaining. Social studies was my hardest subject this year, and I think Ernesto agrees with me over that. I enjoyed equations a lot, at least after they made sense. They're one of the easiest things to do in math, though they were one of the hardest things to figure out in the first place, and it always took some explaining to get the hang of it. I tried to do especially well in math since I know that I will use it a lot later on in life. It is very important that you don't give up with school, even if you have bad grades. It will eventually be worth it. Imagine if you gave up right away or just didn't go to school in the first place. This means you wouldn't be able to read. And now imagine you're going on a trip and you don't know the way, so you want to type your destination into your phone, or into your phone's GPS, but you can't write. Then you just talk into the phone. Finally, it shows you the directions, but you can't read them. And then the phone tells you them, but you can't read the signs for which roads it tells you to take. See, going to school is very important, and if you're having a hard time, keep going. After graduation, I'm planning to go to school for grade 9 and possibly more. Though I might not do it at school, I definitely want to do grade 12 so I can get my mechanic's license. This is because I'm planning to work for Dad in the shop. School has often helped me in everyday life. Social studies gave me some knowledge and history. Bible gave me lots of advice on how to be a better Christian. Science gave me information on how the body works, about how plants work, and lots of other things. Reading taught me about poetry and literature. Language arts taught me how to read, write, both in cursive and manuscript, and how to speak with correct grammar. And math taught me how to add, subtract, divide, multiply, and many other things. All of these things are helpful in one way or another. So if you hate school and want to stop, or you are discouraged, keep it up. Just be thankful that you can actually have an education. For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge.
Thank you. I would like to read a song that I came across at a graduation I attended the other day. And this is called So Send I You. So send I you to labor unrewarded, to serve unpaid, unloved, unsought, unknown, to bear rebuke, to suffer scorn and scoffing. So send I you to toil for me alone. So send I you to bind the bruised and broken, or wandering souls to work, to weep, to wake, to bear the burdens of a world aweary. So send I you to suffer for my sake. So send I you to loneliness and longing, with heart a hungering for the loved and known, forsaking home and kindred, friend and dear one. So send I you to know my love alone. So send I you to live your life's ambitions, to die to dear desire, self-will resign, to labor long and love where men revile you. So send I you to lose your life in mine. So send I you to hearts made hard by hatred, to eyes made blind because they will not see, to spend, though it be blood, to spend and spare not. So send I you to taste of Calvary. Alvin, if you would come up, we'll hand out the diplomas. Next, Henry, you can close us in prayer.
Yeah, good evening to you, Dola. Yeah, you did a good job. Sien het goed dat die zijn schuldigen? Nou, ik geloof het niet. So, ja, waar wil je nu weer aan staan? En de tijd wordt je niet schuldig. No, it's going good. I'm sure you weren't onder dingen aan. I'm sure you weren't playing arbeid on or whatever. Ja, dat is schijn. Dat de kinderen kan leren. En dat ze kan de schulvaardig gaan en wieder mogen. So, we doen alle te starten. En we leren nog alle dagen. Like, het lukt niet dat je nu niet meer worden leren. Because je waren de weg nog, even nog meer leren. Even wat je niet in de school gaan. Eenmaal leren mensen nog een deel van die niet in de school zijn. So, weet je dat nou dat je grade 8 je past had? Are you sure? Aber weet je dat de test is nog niet vorig? So dit is een test van vandaag zo is. De jongens, die hebben hier nog wat voor after. De jongens hebben cupcakes gebakt. So, wanneer dat wat fijn zijn, dan heb je gepast. Wanneer niet, dan it's a failure. No, niet zo erg was het niet. Maar ja, dit is dan nu zo wie dat we het gaan. So, Die zijn alle welkom te blijven voor nog een koffie en some cupcakes. Wat de jongens gemerkt hebben. Nu wordt gezegd dat we een man-made cupcakes. So when they go down how you grade you passed. Goed, we hebben nog beden zum Abschluss. Himmlischer Vater, we komen voor die, we danken die voor dat we kunnen school gaan. Ik dank die dat we kan twee jongens gaan wat de school wat grade 8 gaan vorig gemerkt. Ik dank die voor dat du dat hast mogelijk gemerkt voor de parents zum eens schatten. En ik dank die voor alles wat we kan gaan. En ik bid, mocht u wieder met aan zijn, mocht u aan zegenen, mocht u aan leiden en erleven, zodat ik kan dienen deiner zijn en dort doen wat u van ons verlangt. Himmlischer Vater, ik dank u ook voor de eten wat zij hebben gemerkt, mocht u dat zegenen aan de körpers. En mocht u hier met bij ons zijn, door deze ogen, dat die naam kon verheerlijk worden. Dat bid ik en dank ik in Jezus' naam. Amen. Ja, als er is wat onder wat dan veel te zijn? Nog? Goed. Ja, die zijn alle uitgeloot voor koffie nog.